Hey there. Okay, here we go.
Aloha, everyone, and welcome to the Ukulele on the Ground podcast. My name is Aldrin Guerrero. Joining me are Mr. Aaron the Voice Nakamura. Say what's up, Aaron the Voice.
What's up?
And Mr. Kahai, the legend, Mr. KFC himself, Furrigan. Say what's up, Kahai.
What's up?
What up, gentlemen? It's the three of us, and we're here finally on a Monday. We can talk about stuff. So, what do you want to talk about, Kahai?
I guess we can talk about
where we've been this whole time. How about that?
And I know one of the big things was Korea, but we could even go further back, right? Because the week before you guys did the was it Ukulele Club of Hawaii too?
That's right. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, was
Forgot
that right
all
before
the
Korea?
things.
Yeah,
I think a
dude.
week,
And like this weekend, we're heading somewhere. It's been kind of an intense finish line to all the tours that we're doing this year. So, a while back, I don't know the exact date, but a while back, we, I think about a month ago, we went over to the island of Oahu to participate in the Ukulele Club of Hawaii, and that is now being run by Mr. Craig Chi, Sarah Mizell, and their constituents, and their amazing crew, and it was a wonderful time, honestly. The way that they run things, like Craig and Sarah. I mean, I feel like people will agree with me 1,000%. They are the most professional people in ukulele, right? I feel like nobody could disagree. They're the most professional people in ukulele. Like anything that they do it so professional, and they do it so well and meticulous to every little detail. And it's what makes them successful. It's what makes them wonderful. And I don't even have enough, adjectives to describe.
They also work really hard.
Yeah, they're hard workers, guys. To all the Craig and Sarah fans, to all the people who listen, who watch, who participate on all the activities that they do for the ukulele, you guys are, you guys are so lucky. I think the ukulele community are so lucky to have such wonderful people like Craig and Sarah. I can't even say enough wonderful things about them. Just and the way that they lift up other ukulele players is also amazing. They brought so much ukulele players in the front that would usually kind of hang in the back and not really get recognized and stuff. So I'm glad that they're putting some highlights on some ukulele players, and some for example like Nue, they're awesome, na ukulele kolu, and they're as good as they are. It's one of those things that they're not gonna market themselves in the front, but with Craig and Sarah, of course they're gonna they're gonna take some nice professional photos,
shine the spotlight on them.
Try to shine a spotlight on them. Neil Chin is another one. That due to Craig and Sarah's spotlight, Neil Chin became a bigger thing. And rightfully so. He's amazing, but I think it's that spotlight that they do. So Craig and Sarah, they're amazing. They're amazing, and we're very, very lucky. All us ukulele players, ukulele professional musicians, and ukulele enthusiasts are all very lucky to have people like Craig and Sarah. Okay, now enough about the the kissing and hugging of Craig and Sarah. Let's talk about the event. It was awesome. I mean, we got there. We flew first thing in the morning. I missed my flights. Almost didn't get there in time because apparently Lihue Airport are having a shortage in their TSA agents, and it's been a lot of lines,
Yeah.
you know, and
Just during certain times.
I guess so,
right?
yeah.
When
yeah,
there's
I
like
guess
a lot
so.
of flights going out at the
It's-
same time.
It's every time that I fly out. It seems that way, and I'm there like an hour before my flight. And usually for an inter-island flight, that's a lot of time, you know. But if you're gonna be in line for like 30, 45 minutes, like before, if you're there an hour before your flight, which is okay because usually TSA takes like 10, 15 minutes, but if it takes 30, 45, you're not going to make it, so it's had to make a few adjustments, and it almost happened again, like on my way to Seattle, but good thing, I made it that time. But yeah, so it was good. We got there. I taught a few songs that we teach over at the AG Ukulele Academy, so it was nice for me because it was just kind of playing to what I already knew, whatever I already taught, and I was very comfortable with working in front of people now that have been doing AG Academy a lot, and it was the same songs, so it was nice, and I kind of joked around the crowd. It was good. I got to kind of play off of that personality a little bit that I do here, on the streams and stuff. So
yeah, and it's
it was
online
nice.
to
Yeah.
view.
If you guys want to watch it, it's on Craig and Sarah's channel. It's the Ukulele Club of Hawaii for August, I believe. Yeah,
The
August.
Ukulele Club of Hawaii. They have their own YouTube
Yeah.
channel.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So make sure you check that out. It was fun. We did like How Can I Get Over? We did Koke'e, and it was just a good time. Imagine it like a virtual ukulele club where like I teach some songs and we play it and stuff. It was a good time. And then we met Corey Mao. So shout out to Corey Mao. Amazing. Picked us up at the airport.
Yeah.
And just a
Another hard worker.
yeah, like a huge helping hand, and Corey made us feel comfortable and made sure that everything was running smoothly.
Yeah.
Craig is running around like a chicken without his head with his cameras, trying to film get the right
Doing
lighting,
all the things. Yeah.
And then Sarah and Corey are helping everybody out. It was a good time. It was very well organized and just a fun time. I mean, I've done Ukulele Club of Hawaii before, with its former, showrunners, and that was good too, But I think the changes that Craig and Sarah made really helps make sure that everybody has an easier time with participating and with the level of of music that they're playing. It's pretty good, really good.
Actually, Auntie Lena was supposed to be there too, but she had another engagement. Yeah.
If people are on Oahu and they want to go there, like, or join or participate, where is that? Like, where is it being held?
I believe it's the second or third Saturday of the month, so it should be coming up pretty soon. I'm guessing it's this coming weekend. So, is it Sunday or Saturday? I forget. It should say on the on the YouTube channel or the site and stuff. I'm pretty sure they have a site for that. Like, I couldn't imagine Craig and Sarah not having information about something that they're doing. It's unheard of. But
I think it's on their website.
It's on their website. Okay,
Yeah.
It should be there. We'll put all the stuff below. So. Anyway, so Craig and Sarah put it together. They actually just had, or they're having a thing, like a benefit concert this coming weekend on the 21st. That's pretty early, 9, I think, to 2. And they have Jake as like their headliner. Some amazing other like artists are going to be there as well. But I believe Jake is the headliner. And I think you can get all the information. You can watch it online and stuff. And they'll have like an auction for some stuff. It's a benefit concert, so a lot of donations can be made, and that goes to the right places. Okay. Then after that,
Actually, it's at the it's 4stringsatatime.org.
Okay, 4stringsatatime.org.
Yeah, they should have all
That's
the
like their
information
nonprofit
there.
that they run.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Saturday, September 21st. So this Saturday is going to be at Windward Mall. It's usually held at Windward Mall.
Yeah, but it'll be streamed, right? I'm pretty sure it'll be streamed.
Yeah, and live streamed.
Okay. So I guess instead of doing the Ukulele Club of Hawaii, they'll just be having the benefit concert. That maybe is what they're doing.
Like instead of their normal, I guess third.
Yeah.
This Saturday.
See, we are the unorganized ones, and then Craig and Sarah probably got like all the info, like on the top of their domes and stuff, and just but we need to learn a thing or two. We need to take some lessons maybe on organization from Sarah Kondo. Anyway, so we headed off. We jet setted the very next day. That night we played over at the Relay for Life here on Kauai. It's a cause that's kind of close to me. I lost some loved ones to cancer, so it's a really cool cause that we get to participate in and help out for a great organization. So we did that. And then the next day, we flew over to Korea. Korea was amazing. We shout out to Miss Moon and her crew, and they were so like hospitable. Like it was just so good. Like everybody was super friendly. Everybody was was just there to celebrate ukulele and just have a good time. And I dig that. They had an international ukulele contest, meaning there were people from like Japan, Taiwan, Korea, and it's an Asian international ukulele contest, and there was us from Hawaii and stuff. It was really good. So that and the winner was Saya from Japan, and she played an amazing rendition of I Want You Back by the Jackson 5. So if you guys are wondering how she does that song, we have the live stream that you can watch again from Korea
on our channel.
On our channel. Okay, so that was and we featured her on that live stream, and she played her winning songs. If you want to hear what that sounds like, what kind of level people are at in Asia for an ukulele international contest. That's one way to check that out.
What was the contest like?
A lot of instrumentals, a lot of groups kind of singing songs, but just because they're singing doesn't mean that there's not a lot of like picking going on. Like they had everything, like there was picking, there was a singer songwriter, there was like some looping stuff, like anything you could think of was there. Okay, and it was all ages, like there was like super young kids performing, and there was like older people performing as well, like in groups and stuff. It was just a lot of fun, and I feel like I always get this image in my head, if I'm gonna be honest, of Asian, like just music, like they kind of take it a little too seriously sometimes for me, like my image of it, and like because I grew up with Asian parents that want to just be like, okay, now play this, like play this piece of like super duper hard music so that like it, so that I can show you off to my friends, and then whenever friends come over, it's like, oh, play that song on the piano, and then you play this whatever Bach Mozart song, and then it's kind of how Asian parents are, right? But it was really kind of refreshing, because I've always had that that view or that thought, but when the group started going up, it was just like, oh yeah, this is like an ukulele group that just loves playing together, and there was this girl that came up, and like she sang like original songs. I'm like, that's awesome, that she's using the ukulele as like as her tool to get these melodies out, and it's a nice vessel.
Like her songs were very like pop, kind of like background for K-dramas or
right. It was really cool. She's from Korea. And there's looping, that was there, or like they really wanted to kind of showcase like what the ukulele can do. So it proved me wrong of just like, it's not just all about like really being tediously like studying the ukulele and being like meticulously perfect.
Only classical.
Yeah. So it was really cool, because they definitely do have that in Korea. There are like schools that you can go and learn like classical music, read musical notation, like, and everybody playing like an army, like playing the same thing. There's definitely that going on. But the contestants that we had, like, just enjoyed the ukulele and showcased how much they enjoyed the ukulele and their own unique like love for it by showing off what they want to do. Because like going into a contest, you're trying to think like, okay, what is the hardest song that I can play so that I can like woo the judges and but no, like the girl came in like and played like an original song that she wrote and got high marks for it because like the chords were nice and complex. I think the melodies were were really good, and that's good. Like she just showcased how she uses the instruments, and I was all for that. It doesn't have to. You don't have to play the hardest, the most technical like kind of song to show us that that you're having fun with this instrument, or to show us that you're proficient with this instrument.
So you were a judge for the contest.
Yes.
Who else was judging too?
Myself, Aaron, Honoka.
No, I wasn't a judge.
Oh, you
actually.
were. You were sitting on the judge's table.
Yeah,
didn't
but I
judge?
wasn't judging.
Wow, I thought you were judging.
No.
Why not? Why didn't they let you judge? You should have judged.
Honoka.
We had Honoka, Utah.
Jazum Cafe.
Yeah, Jazum Cafe.
Yeah.
We had Cindy, and we had our friend from Korea who runs the school.
Yeah. Lee Pyonghwa.
Peace. Peace from Korea. So really cool. Peace has a school that if you guys are from Korea,
Actually, we got to talk about him.
Yes. Yeah, that was my little segue. Okay, so it was amazing. So all these people did their thing, and then the very next day we did a concert, and that concert it was us, it was Honoka, it was Cindy, it was Jazum Cafe Utah, and there was an not ukulele, but there was a hula group from Korea and there's a hula group from Japan, and it was a fun concert, and I think everyone put forward their own their own kind of stylings on the ukulele. Like Jazum is definitely different from Cindy, who's very different from Honoka, who's very different from us. So it was like a nice mixture of everything ukulele. So it was really fun.
Yeah.
I dig it. I think Miss Moon put together such a great lineup for that night. And this hula group from Japan, I think opened up the show with some numbers. But then that same group from Japan also played a number with us, which is Hene Hene Koaka, and they did such an awesome job. Like they, like hula groups in Japan, like they are on it, man. Like I've seen that movie Hula Girl before, how serious Japanese hula dancers take hula, and like they had it down to like every little detail, to the papalas, to the what they were wearing based on the song that they were dancing, and like the moves, and it was so good, like they were really good. The hula dancers from Korea were amazing as well. They had Honoka like sing this song Pua Kenny Kenny, and they talked about that flower and this beautiful like kind of story about that flower, and how the significance between the writer and like I feel like it was some kind of death that happened, and then just this remembering of that that person. It was beautiful, and then on our set also we had the amazing privilege of getting the jam with Kim Sung-woo, which is this singer from a group called Shincheon Blues in Korea, which is like a legendary blues band in Korea. Like think like I don't know, like the Rolling Stones, like the blues Rolling Stones of Korea, and it was crazy. And then like we met him for the first time, super humble guy, really cool dude, and like as soon as we started jamming and he sang his first note, I'm like, God damn, this guy's good. Oh man, this is gonna be so good. As soon as he started singing, I was like, I am so excited for this. He had like this rasp of like, I don't know, like just as if he's had like 1,000 years of hardship.
Yeah.
It was so good. His voice is so amazing, like especially for blues and stuff. It was so good. Yeah. And like he was so nice with his time and his and his like just energy and his talents, just hanging out with us, regardless if we were doing rehearsals or we were performing or not. He would just come and hang out. Like that whole week we got to hang out with like a celebrity, basically.
Yeah.
like a Korean celebrity.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. And he was he's so big. He was featured in the Korean show Masked Singer. Okay, so the Masked Singer that we have here, I believe it's an NBC show in America. That was actually based off of a Korean show called The Masked Singer in Korea. So that show was huge there, and Kim Sang-woo was featured on that show, and yeah,
like
Shin Chan Blues.
his voice is so recognizable
Yeah.
that, like, you know,
They
he was
knew right
part
away.
of that show.
They knew right away.
Yeah, too.
So really cool. Just it's amazing. And then like when we would go off to dinner, like, cause he's like a big celebrity, and you know, and he's just like, oh, you know, like Korean barbecues, like, oh, let me cook, let me do this,
Yeah.
and let me cut the thing, and let me like, you know, serve you. I'm like, dude, what? Like, dude, I just let me do it. And he's like, no, I don't want you to burn the food.
I asked Aaron, like,
Yeah.
so does he like play uke, or like how was he a part of the festival? And Aaron was just like, I think he's just a fan, or not a fan,
He's
a
a friend,
friend
yeah.
of Miss Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's pretty cool. Like getting musicians who aren't normally associated with uke. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's the way to do it, right? Like having them come and be a part of the community, or
Yeah.
play
I mean,
music.
like one of Miss Moon's like many hats is that she's a reporter, and like, you know, a music kind of reporter, like a, you know, so she's like interviewed like famous people and bands and artists and stuff, and featured them in magazines and whatever. Like, so she's, you know, she knows a lot of famous people, which. So it leads into the second part. On our last night there, we hung out with pretty much the Mick Jagger of the of the Rolling Stones of Korea, and Mr. How do you say his name? It's like, it doesn't sound, it's Korean, but it doesn't sound Korean. But anyway,
yeah,
he's like the guitar player for Shin Chan Blues, and he's the guy who created Shin Chan Blues and wrote a bunch of those songs. And it's like, oh, you know, like as a treat, like we're gonna have dinner, you know, with this guy, and we had dinner with him, and like he's just telling us all these like rock and roll stories from like the 80s and 70s and stuff, when, you know, when Shin Chan Blues was like at its peak, and how like they recorded some of the songs and stuff. I'm just
Oh,
geeking out.
In-ho.
Mr. Omino.
Yeah.
I called him Omino. Ominho.
Yeah.
So, but Mr. Omino, like just cool dude, really just crazy famous, you know. It's just sitting down like and just having dinner with us, telling his rascal stories of the past. It's
Yeah.
rock and roll stories.
Rock and roll
Yeah, I know. Like
stories.
listening to him, I'm like, wow, that is pretty rock and roll. Like I can't share some, you know, the stories, but like hot damn, like that's only like a true rock star like would have those kind of, you know, those kind of stories. And it was quite amazing. So it was a huge privilege for us to be hanging out with Mr. Omino. So it's yeah, anyway, getting back to the ukulele stuff. All right, so we mentioned our friend Peace. So Peace has an ukulele school, and
Like
also
an
like
academy.
an ukulele academy and brand, where they sell, you know, like ukuleles and strings and stuff over in Korea. Okay.
It's a franchise, and he has 22 locations across
Insane. Yeah,
Korea.
he's so successful, and he's
yeah.
just like,
And
oh,
he's like younger than us. Too.
yeah, he's like, help me
like,
find a girlfriend.
What
I was like,
have
dude,
we been doing for
I'm
the
pretty
past
sure if
8
you
years?
just like walked around with your with your what was it called, your resume, and you get a girlfriend in no time, you know. And yeah, so it's just like we you know, we were hanging out with him, and then he's like, oh, you know, I usually when you hang out with somebody, they play ukulele, you exchange ukulele. It's like, oh, here, play mine,
Yeah.
I want to play yours and stuff.
He had a kanilea too, right?
Yeah, he had a kanilea. He has a diamond model,
Nice,
a kaimana
yeah.
model kanilea. So I was like, all right, on, can I try your ukulele? You can try mine and stuff. So he's stoked playing mine. So then I'm like, okay, cool. I've played like kaimanas before, you know, like the kaimana model before. I know what to expect, and I played it, and it's like, there's something about this one in particular that like sounded so good. I'm like, what is it? Then I'm like, what? So it was strung low G, okay, unwound low G, mind
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, what strings are these? You know, these feel like Worth clears, but I don't know of any Worth clears that have like the unwound low G. And I mean, maybe it does and stuff, but it doesn't feel like this,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, you're close. We actually, they collabed with Worth, him and his franchise brand, and created this like unique set of strings, like this low G. Amazing. I make my own strings, and I'm like, this guy's strings were like just out of this world. It was so good. Okay, it's unwound low G. The tension is perfect. It's like it almost makes you want to play classical music with it because every single note just rings, you know, like, and it's not like, I mean, you could still play like a lot of, you know, like a lot of hard hitting kind of songs, but because it's low G, you're not going to do that anyway. You know, you're not going to do some heavy duty strumming. It was perfect. Like the tension, the clarity, the tone, everything about it was just so good. Like I can't rave enough about these. Aaron has them right now, so let's show these off.
Yeah. So his academy is called Inseng Aki.
Inseng Aki. So these
Aki
are
ukulele.
Worth strings from Korea, and they're low G. They're Insane cross Worth.
Yeah.
You can
So,
see in
like-
the back. I'm like, oh, okay, a little AG cross AQ, like you know, kind of
Right on the
action.
front, yeah.
So yeah.
It has his logo and Worth.
Because I asked
So this
Aaron.
is yeah.
Yeah.
The insane cross Worth strings. I'm like, hey,
Because when Aaron told
see
me
you.
about this, I asked him like, "Oh, so is it like available anywhere?" And he's like, "No, it's only at the
At his academy.
At his academy.
Yeah, at his academy locations, I think. they're
So
available.
we have 5 sets of these. That's it. You know, we only have 5 sets of these. Unless we reach out to Miss Moon and like, hey, can you ask Peace for more of those sets?
Yeah.
Because goddamn, like these, and once again, I can't reiterate this any stronger. I make my own strings. You know? I have strings with my name on it. And I feel like these are the best low G strings I've ever played.
And
Yeah.
like what you said, like the tension is just right, and that's like probably the
Yeah.
biggest problem with both wound and unwound strings
Yeah.
is like getting the
Yeah.
tension.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
so
tension's
like
not
the-
too high. It's not too, you know, like.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Because Aaron, you're a low G guy, an unwound low G guy, as a
Yeah.
matter of fact. What are your thoughts on these strings?
Well, like the reason why people use wound low Gs is because they have the volume and then they have the tension,
Yeah.
right? So, but they don't have the tone of like, you know, if the rest of your strings are nylon or whatever fluorocarbon, they don't have the same tone. Like a wound string doesn't have the same tone as the rest of your strings. So in order to do that, like you have to have a similar material for your low G.
Yeah.
And that's why I play unwound low Gs. So because the tone across all of the strings
It'll
are
be equal,
similar,
yeah.
but then you always sacrifice that tension, right? Even the best like unwound low G strings that I've found are a little bit floppy, like you know, just because you can't really. I don't even know how he did it. It's like
Wait.
the low G is actually thinner than the C string.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how that's physically possible, but unless like we heard
Yeah.
it and felt it and played it for ourselves, and it's a thing. So
Because okay, so let me set this up. Miss Moon like took us to the mall. And he's like, hey, we're gonna meet up with Peace. With this, he's an Aldrin Guerrero fan. He
Yeah.
he wants to meet you and stuff. He wants to have, he wants to have dinner and whatever. I actually wasn't feeling well that night.
Yeah.
I ate something that made me feel kind of junk. And then so I was, but I don't want. I don't want to like meet up with somebody and then they see me. They're like, "Oh, does it seem like he?"
Have to put your best face
Yeah, I gotta put my
forward.
best face forward. So like then I'm like, "Oh, hey, sorry, I'm not gonna eat much. Like I actually don't feel well, but I'm stoked to meet you and stuff." So it's me and Peace like at one end of the little like conveyor belt sushi bar that we went to, okay? And Aaron was maybe like 3 chairs away from me because there was
I was hanging
Honoka,
out
there
with,
was
Honoka and Miss Moon.
Miss Moon, they were on the other side, right? And as soon as it started playing, and I couldn't stop playing, and I knew that like that Aaron, being the low G guy that he is, I'm like, yo, Aaron, you gotta try this. He's like, why? I'm like, dude, you gotta try these strings. Like, I don't know what it is about them, but you gotta try these strings. And like, and I handed it over to him. He's like, what? What are these? You know? And both of us were like, you gotta tell us, what strings are you using? Because this doesn't feel normal, you know? So in saying cross worth strings, it's only available in Korea, but we're gonna try our best to see if we can somehow grab some. Okay.
Yeah, people are asking about it, and it's like, I think we gotta put on the strings for like on a uke, and then bring that uke on for like a podcast or a jam, so you guys can really see it.
It's so good. It's so good.
Well, I feel like we could do like some kind of special. We got to figure out the parameters for a special giveaway.
Yeah,
I think we can sacrifice one.
We only have 5. We only 5. We might give one away.
Yeah. Because Aaron was like, he's like, oh, take one of these sets home, and then you can use it. But I'm like, and you were like saying like, oh, you were gonna put it on your tailor.
Yeah, I was gonna take one.
Yeah, and then I was like, after Aldrin puts it on his tailor, if it's good for that, then I'll put it on mine. But it's like, I don't want to just like waste the string. They're precious, like precious commodity.
Because the thing is, like, as soon as I played them, I had to ask Peace. I was like, Peace, can I have a set of those strings? And like, because I was like, do you have extra sets with you? Because I'd like to buy one from you. You know? And I asked him right away, and he's like, oh, I'll just give them to you. I'm like, yes. All right.
Well, actually, he didn't have any with him.
His sister.
So so the next day when his sister
brought some over. He's like,
festival.
I can ask my sister to bring some. And I can give you some. I'm like, please, dude, thank you so much. I was like, I don't usually do this, but I might use my Aldrin Guerrero celebrity status to be like, hey, can I get one of those? You know, like I usually don't like throw my weight around, but I'm like, I gotta get these strings. I need these strings, you know? So I'm like, yo, are you a real Aldrin Guerrero fan? Because if you are, you give me some. No, it wasn't like that. I was like, hey, Peace, do you have any extra? Because I'll buy some from you. No, that's exactly what he said. He's like, oh, I'll ask my sister to bring some. And I'm like, oh, awesome. And she brought 5. So that's
only 5.
Honestly, would have bought a box of them. You know, like you put boxes. I would have honestly bought a box of them. It's that good. It's. I know you guys are probably like we can't even, you know, like we can't even buy them. Why are you raving about it? I'm sorry, they're just that good. They're like, and I make my own strings, and I was excited for this one, you know, and kind of want to use that one. I'll put it in my tailor and see, you know, what
I'm sure
the difference.
Yeah, but I'm sure like if we get any word or if we find out that you can get them online, we'll let you guys know too.
Yeah. Because I mean, if Worth makes them, maybe we can just hit up Worth to see if we can get like,
if it's possible. I mean, we would have to get permission.
Right.
But he said that he put in a lot of effort. I think he personally tried like 50 different strings just for not even talking about the combination of strings, just the low G. He figured, but I still don't even know.
Dude, it's so how that's possible. He did it. It was so good. He cracked the code. He cracked, like, and if you guys have been with us for a long time, you know that we've been in search of a non-wound low G that's perfect for a long time. And somebody finally did it.
And like for years, like we always say PhD. Like Jason Arimoto.
That's as close.
He does a pretty good one. I know that Diodario now does a pretty good low G, but they're not even close.
They're not close.
I'm sorry. And I love those, both of them.
They're close to what we were looking for at the time, but we didn't even know this was possible. You know?
I'm pretty sure like Jason's the type of guy though, like that if we put it on and we showed him, he would be excited too.
I'm sure.
Like, this is cool.
I think any fan of the ukulele would be excited about it.
Like I said, I make my own strings with low G, and I was excited for these.
So we'll slap them on, like we'll use one of the sets to put them on a uke, and then so you guys can hear it like on the next podcast or jam.
Yeah.
But then we also do want to do some kind of giveaway or
one away. One for me, one for Aaron, one for Kahai, and one for a giveaway, and one for emergency purposes. Now I'll try to see if I can ask Miss Moon to send us some more or something, or see if we can get a hold of Worth. Maybe
if we can do something,
or maybe Peace can give it to us too. Do you have like 50 franchises or 20 franchises? You can afford the postage to Hawaii.
Or it's like even if it was like, directly from him, I think we would be pretty excited to
give me a box, man. I need it. Need a box of those strings. So good. So yeah, I think I found my preferred low G strings. It's definitely that. But I see even the packaging has some AGAQ like kind of influences in there. I dig it. All right, so yeah, so Korea was great, and we met some amazing people. A really cool highlight is we were in Hongdae, and we were walking around with our friend Saito, right? Saito?
No.
Sato?
Yeah,
Sato.
What is his?
I don't know.
Yuki.
Yeah, Yuki Sato. Yeah. So amazing dude. Love that guy. Love that guy so much. I mean, I loved all the people that we hung out with, but Sato-san sent or took us while we were walking to Hongdae. He's like, I'll walk around with you guys, because me and Aaron were like, hey, my workshop doesn't start for like another 3 or 4 hours. Like, can I walk around? We're in Hongdae. Like, I kind of want to walk around, And then they're like, oh yeah, go. And then like Sato's like, hey, I'll come with you guys. I know Hongdae, Like, I didn't know how much he knew Hongdae, but like
because he's a Japanese guy. Who lives in Korea.
Yes. He was the Japanese translator. Oh no, the Korean translator for the Japanese hula group. Yeah. So, Sato-san, like he's a Japanese guy living in Korea who can speak Korean. Anyway, so we walked around and we're like, we were telling him like, oh, we're looking for like a record shop and stuff. We kind of want to see if we can find like a Shinchon Blues, like record. And then like we saw this one bar, which is like a record bar, like they had records and it was like a bar, and we're like, oh, check that out. But it's like, oh, too bad it's not open, And Sato's like, oh, you wanna check that out? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, that's like my bar, like I go to that bar all the time.
It's owned by his friend, his really good friend.
So we're like, okay. So he goes in, boop, 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 puts the puts the key, like the key code in, like the door opens, and we're in this like crazy bar. You go downstairs, and then like it's this like filled, like walls filled with records and CDs and all kinds of like cool hip stuff. And there's like a whole room filled with records. It's amazing, and there's just maybe like 3-4 like kind of tables, and the front where you can, by the bar where you can just kind of sit on the stool and stuff. Really cool bar. It's like the coolest bar that I've ever been to. It's, like, it's hidden, like it's got that vibe to it. And that night, so we just checked it out. It wasn't open yet, and we just looked inside. We're like, oh, that's awesome. And then he goes out, and then we did our thing. And then that night, he's like, oh, can you guys want to go get a drink at that bar? I was like, hell yeah, let's go. So we went there when it was opened, and it was just the coolest bar. Like there was a DJ, and there was like a big screen playing like YouTube videos, and the DJ would take requests. Like if you bought a beer, you can like make requests and stuff. He'll put that that video on so it's that big screen, like that YouTube video, and he's got speakers all around, and whatever song you wanted, you could just request and stuff. It was so cool. Just the coolest bar that I've ever been to. And yeah, and everyone knew him. He knew, and come to find out, I looked up Sato, and I saw that him and the DJ and the bar owner actually do a video podcast of like Japanese music. Mostly a lot of like city pop kind of stuff, and I was like, that's how he knows those guys, like he's in a band, with those guys, and he goes to that bar, and they have like a podcast together. So really cool. But yeah, that was our career trip. It was So we ate some good food, hung out with some good people.
Yeah.
Shout out to Honoka. She was awesome. You know.
I think, and we might talk about it some more
Yeah,
in coming
yeah.
podcasts.
I want to see if we can bring Honoka in and kind of talk about the Korean tour as well, or just talk about herself. You know.
Yeah,
And-
because she just had a single dropped, right?
Yeah.
So.
So.
And then she was like a judge too, right?
Yes.
For that contest. And that was like one thing that I wanted to ask you guys is like, how's the judging process and how do you guys like, you know, what are things going through your head while you're judging it?
Yeah,
But-
I mean, they're judged on normal stuff like, you know, the accuracy of like the notes that they played, the difficulty of like the song that they played, stage presence, stuff like that, normal things that you get judged on, you know. And what was cool about it was like you would like write comments. There's like there's like space for comments, you know, to make comments to that person. I think they like hand those comments to that person after the show so they can see what the judges wrote about each contestant, and they can use that to, you know, to get better and stuff. Like they can use it as criticism to get better, which is really cool. I think, you know, that's a great way, because it's like, yeah, you give them that score, but why did you give them that score? You know? So
Yeah.
so for me, I was pretty technical and like, okay, well, this is the score because this, and like they could kind of work on this, but they did this really well. I think this right here is what needs a little bit of work. So it was good. I put like my judge and teacher hat on at the same time. You know, it was really cool. So. And does anybody have questions? We could take a little break here because we got another trip to talk about.
Yeah, we do have some questions. Do you want to do questions?
Yeah. Let's take a little break.
Okay. So I gotta find the question.
Usually when people say, you know, we're gonna take a break, they have ads and stuff. We're like, no, this is. We'll take a break by answering your questions, by making it about you.
Yep. Okay. So Alberto.
Yeah.
He said, I've been trying to do the tremolo since several months, but I can't do it yet. Some advice. And then I asked like if there's anything particular about it, and then he said, I can't reach the needed speed. I can't do it fast enough.
Okay, so just have a checklist to see if you got everything down. One definitely is a long nail. You know, if you're using your thumb or your pointer or whatever finger that you're using to do the tremolo, make sure that it's long enough. Okay, because sometimes whenever I see people try to do tremolo, it's just the nail is not long enough, and it's going to like kind of it's gonna catch like the skin part or the flesh part of their thumb catches and doesn't make it as clear. So because when you're doing the tremolo, you're not actually touching the flesh at all. It's all nail. Okay.
You can do it like this,
like
and then I
this?
can switch the other camera.
Okay. Yeah, there it is. So it's that long nail, and it doesn't touch the flesh at all, and it's just the tippy tip of that, of that long nail. You just want to touch the tip of it, because if you go too deep inside, then there's more resistance. Yeah, the string catches a lot more, so you're not gonna get that speed you want. So what you want to do is take it from here, try to go as close as you can until it starts to make noise. That's how you'll know that like you kind of just hit the tip, because the tip offers little to no resistance against your thumb, right? Because if you go, see, like if I dig deeper inside, it's harder, okay? So right on the tip of that, okay? So you want to position your tremolo right at the tip. And of course, down, up, down, up, down, up. And notice I'm not, like, my hand is not doing, like, super, like, big movements. It's actually really small movements. Notice that my thumb, so like if it's gonna reach from here to here, see that? So that's like the range of motion. I really only need to move my wrist this much. So if you're moving your wrist like this, trying to do tremolo, then it's too much. So it looks a lot more involved than it actually is. Okay, so if you're moving too much, you're actually hurting your chances of getting it successfully. Okay. And maybe check your positions as well, so depending on the kind of tremolo you want to do, you want to use your pointer finger as an anchor, middle finger, ring finger, whatever finger you want to use as an anchor. All you Kalegamiya enthusiasts, you have that pointer finger as an anchor. Me, I use my middle finger. Really get that, like that positioning down, okay? But that's my tips, because it seems like you're doing it already. It's just that the speed is not there. So I'm guessing if the speed's not there, it's the way that you're holding it. Maybe the flesh is catching, or maybe you're going too deep in, and that's what would cause those issues.
Yeah, I think the common thing is that when people don't get the speed, they go, I gotta try it harder or faster.
That's true.
And it's counterintuitive, but the more that you try harder or faster, it's probably gonna sound sloppier too. So it's like you wanna make it easy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go one more, and then we can talk about.
Sure.
Other...
So Sean Birch said, hello from the UK. Are there any good forums where people exchange tabs? I've been trying to learn Arthur Smith's dueling banjos for ages and just can't crack it.
Boom. Ukulele Underground. Forum.ukuleleunderground.com. Forums with an S? No, forum, right? With no S. Forum.ukuleleunderground.com. Just a great forum in general for the ukulele. Okay, so go there, meet some friends. If you can't find anybody with the tabs for it, I'm sure someone will know where to get it. Okay, the Ukulele Underground forum has posts dating all the way back maybe 15 years. So you can check those and try to find the tabs that you're looking for. If it's but you gotta you gotta kind of give it some time, because if the song that you're looking for is too niche, then it's gonna be tough. You know what I mean? Like how many people are making tabs for the song that you're looking for? But dueling banjos, it should be it should be relatively famous, or people have done that before. But you gotta think that it's a high level song. So because it's a high level song, only so much people would play it, therefore only so much people would make tabs for it. And because it's a high level song, making tabs for it is probably going to take a lot of effort.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people will go through all that effort tabbing out every single note for that. So you kind of have to keep that in mind to see if it even exists. Okay. Yeah. And if it does exist, it's probably just, it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Or you can kind of post what version that you want. 'Cause Chris Fuchigami does a version.
Dueling banjos.
Yeah, so if you say hey, does anybody know
the right direction
where I could get tabs for this specific version, and then maybe somebody would.
Yeah, but those forums would definitely help you out. They will definitely point you to the right direction of where you should go look for some.
Yeah, I think the thing that people assume, right, is if somebody makes an arrangement for it, then they must be able to tab it out. But not all people who arrange or play ukulele can tab necessarily. That's two different skill sets, and to make a good readable tab is a skill in of itself too. So
yeah. So forum.ukuleleunderground.com.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about our recent trip. A week ago, we came home from what was another epic Seattle trip. This one was pretty short. We flew out Saturday afternoon, and we got there at 11 o'clock at night, all day Sunday, and then left first thing Monday morning. And we're talking 8 a.m. Monday morning, and we were back to Kauai by 1 o'clock, in the afternoon. So it was a really, really, really short trip, but we packed so much stuff in the one day that we were there, and it was just so memorable that I don't know, Seattle delivers every time. We love Washington, we love Seattle, we love the ukulele community from there, we love the Hawaiian community from there, and it's just it's always epic. And Kani was with us, those that trip. That's the only trip that we go as a trio, so far, and like I said last year, my favorite part about those trips are watching Kanio's
reactions.
Kanio's reactions to just normal things, like normal things, like, oh my god, it's an apple tree, or oh my god, there was one, like, I teased him about it on stage. We flew in, and like, I'm tired because I can't really sleep on planes and stuff, and it's like 11 at night. We took an Uber to get to our hotel, and Kanio was like excited, like he's just antsy, so he's talking to like the Uber driver, because me and Aaron, I don't know, Aaron's pretty up. I'm like super tired, but I'm just like, I'm just kind of out of it. And so Kanio was talking to the Uber driver, because Kanio's like the nicest guy. Okay, don't let the face tattoos fool you. He's a big teddy bear, right? So he's like, he's making nice. He's talking to the Uber driver. He's like, oh, what's this or what's that? And then the guy's like, I don't know. It's like an Amazon plane, like that's they fly off of here, and that's cargo, or that's whatever. It's like, is this a shipyard? It's like, oh yeah, I guess so. You've never seen one of those before. And then we go into a tunnel. And here in Hawaii, if you're going in a tunnel, it's probably because you're going through a mountain, like that's what tunnels are here. And so Kanio's like, oh my god, are we going through a mountain right now? And then he's like, no, but like, where the waterfront's like on that side, we're basically just trying to go under the waterfront. And he's like, we're underwater right now? Or like, I'm like, no, Kanio, the waterfront's on like, on that
was
side.
Just the waterfront was above us.
Yeah, it was above us.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know what a waterfront is. I'm like, it sounded like you did it, buddy. I mean, he did, but I was just like making fun of him, on stage. But yeah, like, it's crazy because everywhere we went, he was always stopped by somebody. Like the Pacific Islander community in Washington in general is so huge. And somebody like Kaniho with all the face tattoos and the Hawaiian-ness that he just exudes, like even if he doesn't know that person would be like, hey, you from Hawaii, right? Like, hey, we're from Hawaii too, dude. Like we don't have the tattoos, but we're from Hawaii also. But yeah, like he... I remember one time at the festival, like we're trying to gather all our stuff. We have all these things that we're trying to carry back up to the place where we were like, we put our stuff down, the storage kind of room that we had. And because we had a lot of stuff, we were taking the elevator, and we went to the elevator, and the elevator opens, and we're trying to go up, and we're like, what's Kaniho? Like oh my god, he's talking to somebody again, like so we're like, all right, we'll just take the next elevator. And lo and behold, he's like, oh, he's trying to, and you can tell he's like trying to leave, he's like, oh, sorry, but I gotta go catch up with my with my friends. But yeah, everyone and their mothers just stopped and talked to Kaniho like the entire trip. It was hilarious. It's as if like he knew like every single like Hawaiian or Polynesian person in Seattle.
His auntie.
Yeah, that's right. On stage, he's like, so we're playing on stage. We got to play at the mural stage, Alaska mural stage for that specific festival. They build this huge stage in front of the mural that is in front of the Seattle Space Needle. Okay, it's a really cool really cool venue. It's a really cool site, and we got to play there for the first time this year because we usually play inside the Seattle Center in what's called the Armory Stage, the Kanile'a Armory Stage inside the Seattle Center, which is also a good venue, But we got to play on the big stage where like the big names got to play. So we were stoked. But yeah, so we're on stage and and people were like clapping and stuff, and Kanio's like on the mic, he's like, that looks like Auntie Lei, like all these people look so familiar. That lady over there looks like Auntie Lei. She's like, oh, me. It's like, I am Auntie Lei. And then he's like, oh my God, what? He's like, oh yeah. So the Auntie Lei comes up and like it gives him a hug. We're in the middle of our set, and like gives him a hug and stuff. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, oh, that's Kahea's auntie. And then I guess moved to Seattle and she came down to the show. She didn't know that Kanio was gonna be there because it's now like it's like Aldrin, Aaron, and Kanio's show. It was just billed as Aldrin Guerrero, So she didn't know he was gonna be there, but she was like, oh my God, that's Kahea's, life partner basically. So it was very trippy that like he just knew everyone like in Seattle. He never goes, and that's like what's funny. He only goes to the mainland when we go. Like he would, and I think a long time ago he did some, he did some paddling trips and stuff because he used to paddle canoe, but other than that, he doesn't really go to the mainland. So it's just surprising to see him know so much people in the mainland. But yeah, playing at that stage was really, really, really cool, but very hot. Very hot. It was outside, and I got sunburned just being on that stage. And we're supposed to play an hour, but I feel like we played like an hour 15, hour 20, just because they're like, hey, you guys are early. If you guys want to just play, I'm like, hell yeah, let's just. I want to play on that stage. I waited 3 years, and my third year I finally get to play there. So we'll give them as much music as they as they want. And it was cool. It came out really good. We played some classics and stuff. And then the Kahaiali'is. The Kahaiali'is asked if we wanted to be on stage with them. And this is Willie K's brothers, family that that played music together. And we're just like, what? You're asking us to back you up, So it was a huge honor for us to be playing with them. And so good. It was magical, and they let me do some solos on some fun songs. Like they did "Good Morning," like that Willie K song. Good morning, how you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling? And they're like, "Oh, Aldrine." I'm like, "Oh snap! I get to solo in this song with the K's." It's the K's and Willie K.
Yeah.
So it was it was really, really, really special for me, and we did that, and they did. What other Willie K song did they do? Because they played 2 Willie K songs, and I played solo on both of them. And I was like, this. They also did that is song. On the hilltop in Tahiti, gaze across. Not Margarita. What is that song called? Yorana, dancing in bare feet.
It is Margarita.
Is it Margarita?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh. Is it? Oh, okay.
I think so.
But yeah, so it was really, really, really good and really fun, And the headliners were Naleo Pilimehana, so crazy legends here in Hawaii. Being backed up by Ben Vegas. He's also a legend, in Hawaiian music. So at the end of the day, we usually have just have a little jam session at the lobby of the hotel that we stay at, and just these legends were just jamming. There's Jonah, and there's there's a Kahaiali'is, there's Uncle Joe Souza, and there's Naleo Pilimehana, there's Ben Vegas, and it's just wow.
Aaron said that it's like you guys were jamming, or they were jamming, and you guys joined them, and then they're just like, "Oh, you know this song?" And they start playing, and Naleo just starts doing harmonies, and it's like,
yeah,
dude,
not any harmonies, the Naleo
harmonies.
Yeah.
I think
if you've heard Naleo before, you know exactly what we're talking about.
It's like when I came in and I talked to Aaron about your guys' trip. He's like, "Oh, Naleo, they still got it." He's like, "Oh, that's pretty cool."
Yeah, I remember Kanio was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go catch Naleo and stuff," and because they were headlining, yeah, and we were inside, and I think I was talking to Uncle Joe and some other people, and I missed the first half of Naleo's set. But he went to go watch. He made it like a mission to go and check out Naleo. So he's like, "Oh man, yeah, they still got it," He's like, "Oh, I remember which auntie had a crush on when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Oh, she still got it." And I was like, "Oh, right on, man. Go fulfill your teenage dreams."
It's because Naleo, they won brown bags in Hawaii the year that we were born.
Oh man, and they played some classic Naleo, not original Naleo songs, but songs that they famously covered. They did "You've Got a Friend." I was like, "Oh yes, that's right." They sang that song.
Yeah, they did all of their classics.
Oh my gosh, so good.
I had Naleo songs stuck in my head for at least 4 days afterwards. Yeah.
So it was good, man. It was one of those it really is that festival that you go to, and as a Hawaii resident that you would enjoy in the mainland. You know, it's just such a Hawaiian culture event. And it's almost like an immersion in Hawaiian culture for a day. It's so cool. And also shout out to Chris Lanzon. We haven't even talked about Chris Lanzon. Chris Lanzon was there from like the begin, from the first act. Of the day,
sun up to sundown, past sundown,
all the way to the end when everyone went home, like at the jam session that night. So he was there from the beginning all the way to the unofficial end of the whole thing. We're like, Chris, you okay, man? You're not tired? But he's just like, he had such a great day. He's like still wired, So it was really cool. But we told you guys, we're like, hey, we only have to basically play that one set. I don't have to do any workshops. I'll be around all day. If you want to hang out, come to that one in Seattle. We'll hang out. Chris Lanzon definitely came to hang out, showed off his brand new ukulele on the ground, like ankle tattoo. And I was like, wow, that is your free pass to hang with us, like all the way to the unofficial end of this. So Chris got to witness this like Naleo, like cross Jonah, cross Aldrine and Aaron, cross Joe Souza, cross Ben Vegas, and these amazing artists that we got to jam with. So it was something special. It was really, really, really something special. So mahalo to to the people who put Live Aloha together. Auntie Cindy, Uncle Kalani, the Kahaiali'is, their family, and the Seattle Center for putting it together. Alaska for being a huge sponsor. Kanile'a for being a huge sponsor. It was really, really, really a nice treat. And it's nice to see Auntie Kristen and Uncle Joe, because we rarely get to see them now. We're so busy. So, and they're kind of like, they just go and do like promotions like for the brand and stuff. So if I do go to Kanilea, I don't get to see them. So it was nice to see Uncle Joe and Auntie Kristen. It was really good, It's just super fun. Lots of friends.
Also, shout out to Baron Kaholokula.
Oh, Baron Kaholokula!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he was jamming the whole time, and he was cruising the whole. And then afterwards, he's like, "Oh, Aldrine, do you remember me?" I was like, "Yes, but you look familiar, but I don't know where I know you from." He's like, "Oh, the kind is my dad, Robbie. Robbie's my dad." I was like, "Oh my God, you're Kaholokula. You're Barry. You're on the cover of Proud to Be Kauai, like the first album that I've ever done. He was front and center of that Proud to Be Kauai album. I was like, that's how I know you. Like I know you because you were like the young kid that was in the studio. Like when I was recording Homura Simon, and I was just like, oh, he's like a grown up now.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to catch up with Baron. So Baron, what up, man? Hope all the best for you, buddy. All the best for you. The Kaholokula family.
Yeah, his dad. It was part of the Kaholokulas.
You're on Kauai.
Yeah, they like wrote Pua Olena. Like if you like that song, it's because of them. It's like his family. Yeah. So he was there emceeing the indoor stage, and because we didn't play the indoor stage, we didn't see him.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until that at the end that we saw him, and then we were jamming with him, and it wasn't until he introduced himself that we even realized.
I think he sang like a Kalapana song, like.
Yeah. No, he sang "Sweet Lady of."
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I was telling Aaron that it's like somebody was like, "Oh, it's so cool that the ukulele community is like so small that everybody kind of knows each other." But I feel like just the Hawaii music industry in general is very small. So it's like you'll know somebody, or that person will be related to somebody, or there's music families where the whole family is a part of it.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not uncommon to run into somebody and being like, oh my gosh, you're like that person, or you did that or whatever. But at the same time, it's cool that it's like when people can get together and jam or get together and talk like this, at festivals. So
so really, really, really fun, and we're looking forward to doing it again like this weekend. So it's been kind of a crazy couple months. It's been like in and out, just insane, like traveling and not sleeping and playing and hanging out and eating good food and not sleeping. So I can't wait to not sleep again this weekend, just so that I can hang out with some amazing folks. You know, there's going to be some amazing people there. There's going to be
LA Ukulele
LA
Festival.
Ukulele Festival. For people who don't know, we're going to be there at the LA Uke Fest this coming weekend. It's in Torrance, California. So make sure you check that out. Some of the people that are going to be there include... There's going to be Sammy Turton from Europe. It's a European people that's coming down. There is going to be Plazi is going to be there. So if you watch Plazi, let's see who else is going to be
Bernadette.
there. We have Boris. You know, we have Callie Rose. We have Daniel Ward. We have Danilo. We have Heidi. Ikua. Ikua's gonna be there? That's awesome. I didn't even know that. Oh snap. Jeff Peterson, you know, Peter Luongo is going to be doing a show with the Langley Ukulele Ensemble the next day. Melanie's going to be there. Timmy Cruz, you know, Jiggy with Viggy is going to be there. Timmy Cruz, like I said, is going to be there as well. So it's going to be it's going to be a good time. A good time. Okay, so I'm stoked to be part of that amazing lineup. I can't wait to see all these wonderful folks. Yeah, I've met and seen a bunch of them before, like, you know, like Viggy and Plazi and Timmy and stuff. I got to hang out with them. Of course, Heidi, you know. I've met a bunch of them before, but there's people that I haven't met before, you know, like Sammy, of course, you know, it's gonna be good. Boris I've never met before. It's gonna be good fun. So I'm looking forward to this year's LA Ukulele Festival. Mitch always brings some pretty heavy hitters to the festival. Some of the past include people like Craig and Sarah, who, you know, we were raving about earlier in this episode. I believe like Abe Lagrimas, you know, our friends Ukulele. Cynthia Lynn stuff, like, so he's always brought some heavy hitters to his festival, and this year is no different because you know who's there for Sunday night concert, Kahai?
I don't know who.
Feng E, the Fengist of E's. Feng E is gonna be there playing with the Langley Ukulele Ensemble. So you know what? You're like, oh yeah, I'm here for Feng E, and then you get hit by the Langley Ukulele Ensemble. You're like, God damn, what did I walk into? You know? It's gonna be great, man. So Langley Ukulele Ensemble and then Feng E. It's just unfortunate that we're gonna leave before then. So if you're there, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna go to a concert. I'm gonna meet Aldrine and Aaron. We're not gonna be there, but it is gonna be an amazing show. Those two. Heavy hitters.
And we'll be there all day Saturday.
Yeah, all day Saturday we'll be there. But he has the heavy hitters, you know, like coming up. Feng E, Langley Ukulele Ensemble. And then I guess there's me and Aaron on Saturday night, you know, if you're into that. But it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. The festival itself is on Saturday, and then there's gonna be a special concert on Sunday. I'm gonna be doing a workshop. I'm gonna be doing a workshop on the basics of improvisation. So if you want to learn how to improvise on the ukulele, take my improvisation workshop. I'm going to be hosting an open mic, you know, on Saturday, so make sure you do that as well. If you're going to be there for the VIP dinner the Friday night, Aaron and I are going to be mingling. Of course, pinkies up, you know, nice and fancy when we drink our little tiny drinks with umbrellas on them. I'm guessing, you know, it just said VIP dinner. I don't know. It could be like an In-N-Out for all I know. But even if it is an In-N-Out, I'm gonna drink my In-N-Out shake with my pinky up, just because that's how I feel about like VIP gatherings. It's gonna be good fun. So I hope to see you folks there. Any other things that you guys want to talk about, gentlemen?
The Leilani came out.
Oh yeah, Leilani came out. Very, very very good, very famous, very popular Hawaiian kind of hula song as well. We did Leilani, you know, so check that out. If the melody line sounds familiar, it's because it's island style.
It's so nice of John Cruz to travel back to the 20s and let them like take the melody for Leilani.
But yeah, classic Leilani, beautiful lay. So make sure you check that out on UU Plus. But you can check out the preview over on our YouTube channel. So learn how to play that song over in UU Plus. Take your ukulele playing to the next level by signing up for UU Plus. Head over to ukuleleontheground.com. While you're there, check out the forum that we talked about, forum.ukuleleontheground.com. Chat, meet some friends, and you know, be be an ukulele club, a ukulele underground club member.
Yeah, you or
Isn't that
find
underground club.
for the person who is
Yeah.
looking for tabs. Yeah, definitely go and ask there or see. If
Yeah,
anybody
so
has.
make sure you check that out. All songs and lessons, learn how to play the ukulele, ukuleleunderground.com. If you want some merch and stuff, you can check out shop.ukuleleunderground.com, shop.ukuleleunderground.com for all your ukulele underground stuff needs. So if you need a shirt, if you want to be like Chris Lanzon and wear a nice tie-dye ukulele underground shirt to represent, the ukulele underground, that's where you get it, bud.
There was one question before we
Yeah.
go. I wanted to make sure to ask this. Genevieve said, I forgot to ask earlier. Aldrine and Aaron.
No, I did not order the burgundy shirt. I've been so busy. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I did not order my burgundy shirt. But I do have an ukulele on the ground shirt. So I will still, maybe I'll bring my ukulele on the ground, like black ukulele on the ground shirt.
Yeah.
Okay?
So, and then it's like Genevieve, you, and Aaron can all be wearing UU shirts.
Yeah.
And if anybody else is going to the dinner, right?
Yeah.
Wear it, and you can be a part of it. It's like, is there a flash mob going on? What's going on?
Yeah, I'll wear my black and white ukulele on the ground shirt. With the risk of people going, oh, look at Aldrine wearing his friggin' merch.
own-
Hey, look at him wearing his own merch. What a guy.
I'll wear
He's
the
so
AG Ukulele Academy shirt.
He's so full of himself. Look at him wearing his own merchandise. Look at him wearing his own shirt to this event. Like I just, I can't believe how thick that guy is to be promoting himself in this VIP gala that we have here at I believe it's Four Seasons in LA that we're going to be at, right? Genevieve, is that fancy, right? No, I don't know where it's going to be. But yeah, how dare that guy promote himself and wear his own t-shirts, to this very social, very demure, okay, very mindful gathering.
Can't believe
the nerve of that guy trying to promote himself.
Can't believe while we're eating In-N-Out wearing his shirt.
Let me just enjoy my burger in peace without Aldrine Guerrero trying to shove his propaganda in my face.
Here I am trying to enjoy the fine, exquisite taste of animal style. I just get force-fed.
I know, just ads all over Aldrine's shirt. I'm going to try to ukulele underground his way, to my wallet so that I can shell some out for his wares. And I would never,
Yeah. We're also not even bringing any merch.
No, we're not bringing merch. So if I do go there with a shirt, it's just like, oh, you can buy that shirt off my back, maybe, But yeah, on that note, aldrine.com. If you want to buy this shirt that I'm wearing right now, aldrine.com. Sign up for in-person lessons here on the island of Kauai. If you're ever down here, we do in-person lessons at AG Ukulele Academy. Sign up over at aldrine.com.
Yeah.
Anything else, gentlemen?
No jam on Friday?
No jam on Friday. Unfortunately, we're going to be, mingling with the elites.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna be at the VIP
The
meet and
VIP
greet.
thing. Yeah. Just every time I see the word VIP, like I don't even care where it's held at, but I feel like I gotta wear like a tux, to get there and stuff. Yeah, sorry, Genevieve, I can't wear that shirt. I have to wear a tux that day.
It's like, I was going to say, you wear the shirt and
Yeah.
like a tie over it or something.
Maybe just a nice blazer over the ukulele underground shirt, perhaps. Well, wear a barong. I could. I have a fancy barong that I could wear. Man, I'm really getting a lot of mileage out of my wedding shirt, my wedding clothes. But that's it. Thank you guys so much. Have a great one. You guys are wonderful. We love you. Sorry there's not going to be a jam this Friday, but we'll see you next week, Monday. Mahalo gozaimasu. I love you.